There are some things here that you can kind of look at. So the first thing I look at, I look at saddle fit, I look at how he's moving. For the stuff that we're going to be doing today, I don't see anything physically here that I would be overly concerned with. Something else might show up as we go, but right now I don't see anything that I would be overly concerned with as far as just the stuff that we're going to do today. So this is real similar to the last course. Now, as long as, the idea here, now with him, what he's struggling with, there's several things he's struggling with here, but the biggest thing today is for him has been the noise. And so we may help him with that a little bit, but what I would probably do with this guy, just to start with, is I might shorten my reins a little bit. That doesn't mean make more contact. It just means get closer. Okay? So the closer you are, the easier it will be for you to give him direction quicker, if you do, right? So the farther away from him you are, the more difficult it'll be. And sometimes just shortening your reins is enough to calm the horse down. Not always, but sometimes it is. Just if they know you're there, right? He's only a 5-year-old, and he doesn't maybe have the experience to be able to come in here and do work that we're going to be asking him to do. But he's okay, right? I mean, if you look at him now, he's starting to feel a little bit okay about this. If we were to make a little noise, we're not going to do that yet. But if we were to make a little noise, he might struggle a little bit. So we don't want to do that just yet. We may do it here in a minute. But we don't want to do it just yet. What we want to do is just kind of let him get in here and kind of go, okay, well maybe I can be okay with this. Maybe I'll be all right, right? And then the other thing here, she was saying that he kind of gets a little bit busy with his head. And this may be a situation, because you're kind of seeing him using his mouth a lot, and kind of a little bit of a struggle there, but not bad. It's not bad. But it's real consistent. Part of that may just be nerves, and it probably is. But I would also be a little bit concerned about, is this bit fitting this horse? When I say fit, what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the wrinkles in the cheeks and all that stuff. What I'm talking about is, is there enough room in this horse's mouth for that bit to fit in there? Sometimes horses will have a thick tongue, or their palate will be kind of low. And so as a result, they don't have enough room in their mouth for their tongue in the bit. And because of that, you'll see a lot of movement in the head and the jaw and that sort of thing. And so just as he's going around here, I'm just kind of looking at his tongue as he goes by. So just turning toward you. So if he gets stuck like that, rather than trying to get him to go forward, just get movement. It doesn't have to be forward. It can be, you can go anywhere, right? So go ahead and go. Again, I don't want to have to fight with this guy. He's kind of in a little bit of a bind here as far as he's concerned. So like in a situation like this, really good example, if he gets himself stuck because he's looking at this dog going by, who knows what's going to eat him today in here. So rather than trying to push him forward when all of his focus is on this situation over here, let's just get some movement. If we can just get some movement, he'll feel better. It doesn't have to be in the direction he doesn't want to go. It just needs to be movement. We're not in the show ring today. We're not on the trail. We don't have to be anywhere specific. So all we need to do is just get him moving. So when you're looking at this stuff, if you're asking yourself, yeah, but what happens if this happens in the show ring? We're not in the show ring. Right now what we're doing is this. So you do this in situations like this or at home or what have you. And then hopefully this work and the stuff that you're developing in situations like this, then you can take that feel into the show ring between the two of you. Okay? All right, so let's turn him towards me. Just with your inside rein, no outside rein. There you go. You keep going. We're probably not going to stop much right now. One of the things that we kind of also, we get in the habit of doing is when we ask a horse to turn, for instance, we'll use the inside rein and the outside rein on the neck. And again, this horse doesn't need any of that for what we got going on. And I don't care if he falls out, I don't care if he falls in, none of that matters right now. What matters is, there we go. What matters is that he can just be in this situation and relax a little bit. So even though we've been sitting here talking, what we're really looking to do is just allowing this horse the opportunity to be okay in the situation. Sometimes that's all it takes. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to change this just a little bit for him and see if we can help him through a little bit of a tight spot. Okay? So what we're going to do is, as we come all the way around here, Heather, okay, the people between these two posts right here, you guys right here, as she gets over there, I'm going to want you just to clap. Okay, not, you know, nothing like that, but just clap a little bit. So like right about now. Okay, good. Yeah, when he realizes that's for him, he's gonna feel a lot better about himself. Okay, now we're gonna have you guys and you guys when we get down to about the same spot. Okay, you doing okay, Heather? All right. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's turn him back and go the other direction, if you don't mind. In England, just with your inside rein, not with your outside. In England, they call that changing rein, turning around and going the other way. The first time I was in England, I was working with this little gal. We were going one direction most of the time, and she said, "Do you mind if I change rein?" And I said, "No. I mean, it looks like those are working okay, but I feel like you need to change. Turn him. Got it. Smoother with your hand." So we want to be thinking about when we have to, if we have to give our horse direction, we want to be thinking about doing it like your arms are hydraulics, smoothly. We don't want to snatch or grab or pull or jerk or anything like that. I mean, maybe you want to do that, I don't know, but I would prefer that you don't do that. Just smooth. Everything happens smoothly. And if you can do that, you kind of take the charge out of the direction that you're giving the horse. Just everything be as smooth as we can. So let's turn around and go the other way. We kind of snuck around and got to go in the same direction again. There you go. And are you breathing at all, Heather? You trying? All right. You got a lot of air going in, but not much coming out. So at some point, if you could just exhale, that would be good. All right, so now, when he gets down on that end, we're going to have this group here do a little clapping. Is that okay with you guys? We appreciate you guys helping out today. So when we're going to get down to the other end, we're going to do that again. Okay? So I don't want to do that when his back end is facing. I want him to, right about there. So it's, there you go. Good.